D-backs and Dodgers. Last night an 8-5 D-backs win in the series opener, and tonight a chance for the best start to a season in club history. Can we make it a perfect 5-0 at home against LA this year? Well, we're about to find out. D-backs Dodgers on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field, and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. D-backs with the National League's best record and the league's hottest player. It was back on April 14th. A.J. Pollock had a 2-homer game against the Dodgers in L.A., and he's been hot ever since. Bob, last night he topped himself his first ever 3-home run game, and again it came against the Dodgers.
A.J. really enjoys hitting against the Dodgers this year, and he's really enjoyed himself over the last 2 weeks. His last 14 games hitting .304, 8 homers, 15 driven in. He's had 17 hits in that span. 10 of them have gone for extra bases.
And the D-backs in those 14 games, by the way, are 10-4. They'll have Matt Cook on the mound tonight. In the meantime, the Dodgers, they've lost 6 of their last 7 overall. And look at these numbers for tonight's LA starter Clayton Kershaw. He is 1-4.
The ERA is still very respectable in his 38 innings of work. He's punched out 42 batters, walked 9, but he isn't the dominating Clayton Kershaw we've seen in the past. Hopefully that'll continue tonight.
It is Cook and Kershaw, D-backs and Dodgers, coming up on Fox Sports Arizona.
D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By APS. APS works 24/7 to keep you plugged in, powered up, and connected. By Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money.
Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing. Choose Chaz. And by Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs score free jumbo jacks only at Jack in the Box.
A very special broadcast for you tonight on Fox Sports Arizona. Torey Lovullo mic'd up. Matt Koch on the mound. D-backs and Dodgers. First pitch is next. To say the roof is open. A very comfortable 71 degrees in downtown Phoenix. Welcome in Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, and Kate Longworth along the way as the D-backs begin tonight 20-8, the best record in the National League, matching the best start in club history, 6-1 versus LA this year. And here's the Dodgers starting lineup tonight. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Chris Taylor will lead it off once again at shortstop tonight. Jock Peterson out in center field. Yasmani Grandal doing the catching again tonight with Cody Bellinger down at first base. Matt Kemp in right field. Chase Utley will be at second base. Alex Verdugo in left field. Max Muncy will be down at third base with lefty Clayton Kershaw on the mound.
D-backs have already put 8 games between themselves and the Dodgers in the division standings. And for the first time in franchise history, just completed one entire calendar month without losing back-to-back games. So here we are on May the 1st, and your Ram truck starter for the D-backs tonight is the right-hander Matt Koch, 27 years old. He has pitched very well in a pair of starts after the injury to Taijuan Walker. Matt beat the Phillies last Thursday at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, 2 starts and 1 relief appearance. He's been really good each time out there on the bump. Pitched really well here at home against the Padres. You may remember that game. Tyson Ross carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning. Well, Matt Koch was up to the task that night. 6 innings of 1-run, 2-hit ball. Unfortunately, the D-backs couldn't get anything going against San Diego and Tyson Ross.
Let's take a look around the diamond at the D-backs defense. That's brought to you by Edie Marshall Jewelers.
No David Peralta tonight. He's day-to-day. Would be available off the bench, so Daniel Descalso gets a start in left field with A.J. Pollock out in center and Chris Owings in right field. It'll be Marrero and Ahmed on the left side of the infield. Marte and Goldschmidt on the right side. Alex Avila doing the catching tonight for right-hander Matt Koch.
Greg Gibson is behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Vic Carapazza, the first base umpire. Jordan Baker's at second. And the crew chief Jerry Lane is our third base ump tonight. Before we get going, Bob, time once again for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
How about a little home cooking? See what we did there? I mentioned Matt Koch, his 1 start here at home at Chase Field this season against the Padres. He was outstanding.
Dodgers 1-6 versus the D-backs this year. That includes an 0-4 mark here at Chase Field. 4 games under 500, off to a 12-16 start. And Chris Taylor is in a leadoff spot. 232 and 4 home runs. Roof is open. Outfield panels are closed. Cloudy and overcast here. Cool and comfortable in downtown Phoenix. And that's Matt Koch. He is a strike thrower. Taylor doubled and scored a run last night in the series opener. He was 1 for 5. There's the cut fastball, just missed down and away. It's 1-1.
That's a key for Matt Koch as well. You mentioned he pounds that strike zone, but when he does miss, he needs to miss in his favor. Can't afford to make too many mistakes up over the heart of plate.
That is rolled through the hole and into left, a leadoff single for Taylor. Right between Marrero and Ahmed down there. Leadoff man aboard for Jock Peterson.
Center field, number 31, Jock Peterson.
You get the feeling with all the missing parts that Dave Roberts has over in that first base dugout, it's just line up roulette every night. Just try to figure out the best way to line up the guys you have available and hope they can make something happen.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about all the injuries. No Justin Turner, no Yasiel Puig, no Logan Forsythe, and as of yesterday, no Corey Seager, who will have Tommy John surgery later this week. He's out for the year. Peterson drove in a pair of runs last night, had a triple and a sacrifice fly. He also struck out twice. Taylor only 1 for 4 in his stolen base attempts this year.
Now Matt Koch is very quick to the plate. He uses that slide step to home plate and rarely uses a high leg kick with a runner on base. Very tough to get a jump against him.
Through 2 starts so far, Matt has been very solid. He's completed 6 full innings each time. Allowed a total of only 3 runs and has consistently generated weak contact, getting ground ball outs.
I mentioned his start against the Padres when he only gave up 2 hits in 6 innings. One of them was a solo home run to Franchi Cordero. Otherwise, he worked his way through that Padres lineup with ease for 6 innings.
That Cordero homer, I think, is still headed out to Mesa or someplace, flying through the air. Yeah, Matt has been very solid. 27-year-old out of Cherokee, Iowa. Taylor holding in first. Change up for Matt Koch, and it's 2-2.
A lot of people comparing Matt Koch this year to Zach Godley last year for the way Zach Godley took advantage of his opportunities because of the injuries at the major league level, stepped in and earned himself a spot in the rotation this year.
Peterson takes one on the leg. Matt Godley got his chance last year when Shelby Miller went down with Tommy John. This year, Matt Koch fills in for Taijuan Walker.
Peterson takes that one off the back of the right calf. That was one of those situations where he leaned his upper body away from the pitch but stuck his leg out in front of it. Takes the hit by pitch to put Dodgers at first and second.
Matt in immediate trouble. 2 on, no outs for Yasmani Grandal. 315 and 4 home runs. A switch hitter, all 4 of those home runs coming as a left-hand batter. Grandal 3 hits last night. He doubled twice, scored twice, knocked in a run. He has always been a tough out against the D-backs.
I think he was a little upset, irritated, whatever you want to say, motivated by getting hit by a pitch in his first at bat in the ball game yesterday. He was really grinding the rest of his at bats.
If it did indeed hit him. We're still not sure. Looked like it hit the knob of the bat. Here's a fastball down and away. 1-1. Zach Greinke, his third win of the year last night. 2 runs, 4 hits in 6 innings with 10 strikeouts. There's a smiling David Peralta. That's great to see. Miraculously, there was no real damage to that right hand. That was a frightening moment last night. Try the cutter. 2-1. Matt so far more balls than strikes.
Well, you can kind of see the view the catcher has looking out not only to the pitcher's mound, but in the background there was Chris Taylor staring right in at the signs along with Matt Cook. Yeah, you wonder why catchers are all paranoid.
I'm not paranoid. Why are you all out to get me?
Yeah, look at yeah.
It's a great look from our director Brian Moss and our producer Brad the Big Dog Weimer.
Staring right in there along with Matt Cook.
Everybody looking at the signs. 2-2 to Yasmani Grandal. Cook's got it. They get 1 and they roll the double play. Taylor in at third, 2 outs. That's exactly what he needed right there.
First baseman, number 35, Cody.
Come back to the mound. He knew who was going to be covering second base. That's one of the last things a pitcher does before he gets on the mound with the runner at first base. He picks up his middle infielders to find out who's going to cover the bag if the ball's hit back to me. And that time it was Nick's coverage. Turns it into an easy 1-6-3 double play.
Just mentioning how Matt's been able to generate weak ground ball outs, weak contact. Cody Bellinger 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts last night. And a lot to say after the ball game about Jerry Lane's strike zone. That was a hot topic last night. The crew chief down at third.
Well, it was a rather wide strike zone, especially away from the left-handed hitters, and I can't even believe I'm saying this, but he was consistent with it all night.
Absolutely.
That doesn't make it right, but he was consistently calling pitches off that outside corner for both teams.
That's right there at 94, and Matt jumps ahead 0-2.
Yeah, the good thing for the Diamondbacks was they had a pitcher on the mound that was able to take advantage of that wide strike zone.
And that outside corner down and away to lefties is exactly where he likes to throw that changeup.
Absolutely.
And it really worked out well for Zach. 0-2 on Cody Bellinger. Lifted in the air to Daniel Descalso backing up in left field. Clayton Kershaw coming up. No score, D-backs and Dodgers. Los Angeles, it's Clayton Kershaw. No pitcher in the National League has lost more games. He's 1-4 in 6 starts, despite that 2.84 ERA. And he just walked 6 batters in 5 innings in a loss to Miami last Wednesday.
Threw 112 pitches in those 5 innings of work. When he left the game, it was only 3-0. Very uncharacteristic start to the season for Clayton Kershaw.
Valley Chevy Dealers has a look at the D-backs lineup tonight.
Daniel Descalso will lead it off out in left field. Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Paul Goldschmidt down at first base. A.J. Pollock, the red-hot A.J. Pollock, in center field. Chris Owings in right. Ketel Marte back in the lineup at second base tonight. Alex Avila doing the catching. Devin Marrero will be at third base, and Matt Cook on the mound.
Descalso leads it off. He's playing David Peralta tonight, batting from the leadoff spot and playing left field. Fastball off the plate is 0-1. Descalso 229. He's got 3 homers. He's homered twice this year against left-hand pitchers. One of them was Clayton Kershaw. That was here at Chase Field back on April 3rd. This is slicing toward the line in left. Verdugo's over there, and he's got it in foul ground. E.D. Marshall Jewelers gives us a look around the diamond at the Dodger defense.
Well, we've already seen Alex Verdugo out there in left field. Jock Peterson will be in center. Matt Kemp over in right field will be Max Muncy at third. Chris Taylor at short. Chase Utley at second base, and Cody Bellinger over at first. Now's Monty Grandal once again doing the catching tonight for the lefty Clayton Kershaw.
Here's the red-hot Nick Ahmed. 262, 5 home runs. Low strike call. Nick had a big night last night. He singled, doubled, homered, drove in 2 runs, and scored twice.
Did a little bit of everything. Opposite field base hit to drive home a run. Deep drive to center field that got out of here, and then rips one down the left field line for extra bases.
His bat has really come alive as of late. Drops that slow curveball in there, and Kershaw jumps ahead 0-2. Last night was Nick's 3rd consecutive multi-hit game. Trying a fastball down and away, missed the corner, 1-2. Nick is it safely in 6 of his last 7. 3 doubles and 3 homers over that stretch. There's the Kershaw slider. He gets his first strikeout.
Kershaw basically a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, slider. He'll use those 2 pitches a lot, and that big slow curveball that's been a weapon for him in the past. He hasn't thrown as much this year.
Hasn't done that as much, and the fastball velocity is down a tick for the 4th consecutive year. Paul Goldschmidt 273 and 4 home runs. He singled and walked last night. That curveball got away from him. It's 1-0. Goldie just under 50 at bats, a career .224 hitter against Clayton Kershaw. He has homered against Kershaw 3 times. That is a foul ball. He just missed down the left field line.
It was just a little bit foul.
I thought about it too, but I decided not to. So what you're saying it was just a little bit outside.
Just a bit.
Yeah, all right. I see what you're doing.
Scooted over just a little bit, Goldie.
1-1. Curveball's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Goldie's hit safely in 4 of his last 5 games. The one was his quote-unquote off day in Philadelphia Saturday. Good hard slider there. You see the difference between the Kershaw curveball and the hard slider, a lot like you see from Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, the curveball a little easier to pick up out of his hand. It has a big sweeping break, however. The slider a little more similar to his fastball. Tougher to pick up.
Oh, dropped one in there and buckled him. 2 strikeouts for Kershaw. No score from Chase Field.
Fourth start on the season, and he told me he was pretty excited tonight to be on the mound opposite of Clayton Kershaw, calling him one of the best in the game. Meanwhile, Cookie, well, he is what we call a student of the game. Dating back to his college days, he's always made it a point on his fellow starters' day off to go out there and watch their bullpens. He said it's kind of a twofold plan. He said sometimes he goes out there, picks up some stuff for his own game plan, and sometimes he sees stuff that's going on with his fellow starters, and he's able to help them with their game plan. We talked to our very own Brandon Webb about this. He said that is great. He thinks it's a great camaraderie between the starters, and he said he remembers back in the day when Chris Carpenter issued that all the starters for the Cardinals should do exactly that.
Thanks, Kate. Here's Matt Kemp, the right fielder, to face Matt Cook to start the second inning. Hard to short. Ahmed is there. Did you have your guys do that back in the day, sort of a collective communal bullpen session?
No, not really. I mean, you know, obviously when Randy or Kurt threw a bullpen session, everybody wanted to watch it.
Sure.
Just because, but I don't think we had anything quite like that. But I'm all in favor of it. I think sometimes the best coach you can have, and no offense directed at all to the Diamondbacks coaching staff, but sometimes the best coach is a teammate, somebody that's watched you, maybe come up through the minor leagues with you. They know every move in your mechanics. And sometimes those guys can help just as much as the coaching staff.
There's the defensive alignment against Chase Utley, the second baseman. Utley 0 for 3 last night. The best example of that might be Zach Godley back when Jeremy Hellickson was here.
Yeah.
And we've talked ad nauseum about Godley's curveball. Well, Ellie was the one that showed him the grip and got him to change the way he threw that curveball. And that's sort of how those things happen.
I've talked in the past about the best hitting coach a hitter can have is the guy that hits behind him in the lineup, because he's always standing in the on deck circle. He sees every pitch you see and can quickly tell you when something is breaking down, or you're dropping your elbow, or your head flew off that one, your stride was too long. The on deck hitter sees every at bat you have all season.
Matt Cook gets his first strikeout. There's that cut fastball.
Way inside there. Chase Utley's very quick inside. He can still pull a fastball, but that cutter just kept running in there. It was right on his hands.
The left fielder tonight, he was in right field last night, is Alex Verdugo. 2 for 5 on the year. Just called up from AAA Oklahoma City over the weekend. Sends this out to Descalso in left field toward the bullpen, and it's over his head. Ground rule double for Alex Verdugo.
Not nearly as much wind here at Chase Field as we had last night, circling around inside the ballpark, but it seems to be carrying pretty well to left field. Verdugo barreled that one up. Descalso looked like he had a beat on it initially, but just kept pushing over his head up and over into the Diamondbacks bullpen.
First career double for Verdugo, his first extra base hit this year. He's at second with 2 down for the third baseman Max Muncy, who homered here last night. Three defenders on the right side of the infield for the D-backs. Marrero stays near the bag at third. Muncy's home run last night, 7th inning off Yoshi Hirano. He was 1 for 4. In there for the injured Justin Turner. Turner is yet to play a game this year. He fractured his wrist in spring training March 19th. The Red Menace. And they're going to give Muncy the free pass with first base open and Kershaw on deck, after Koch had fallen behind in the count 2-0.
Yeah, that's the main reason it suddenly became a very favorable hitters count with a runner in scoring position and the pitcher on deck. So why take any chances with the 8-hitter? Just go after Clayton Kershaw.
2 on and 2 out for Kershaw. 3 for 13 on the year. Dodgers on their longest road trip of the season right now, 11 games in 10 days. They dropped 3 of 4 at San Francisco over the weekend, including a doubleheader on Saturday. 4 here in Phoenix, then a 3-game set against the Padres in Monterrey, Mexico.
Ooh, there's a cross up there. Boy, good reaction by Alex Avila. He was sliding to the inside like he was expecting that ball to break into Kershaw and has to go back and hold that ball in the strike zone. Nice job.
D-backs have very complicated sets of signs. You see Greg Gibson and Alex having a laugh there. When there's a runner on second, they'll run through a whole long set of signs. So a little confusion there on the part of Matt Koch, maybe. It's 0-2 on Kershaw. Verdugo is the runner at second and Muncy at first. Got him. Second strikeout for Matt Koch. He strands 2, no score. The D-backs and the Dodgers. AJ coming up.
I bet you something really good, huh? Very nice.
Homers help sleep. You get about another
One more cycle of REM sleep for sure. The pillow's just a little colder. Everything works just a little bit better.
Lawn dart!
Torey Lovello mic'd up for Fox Sports Arizona tonight. There he is with bench coach Jerry Narin. Everything's golden when you're hitting the ball like A.J. Pollock is right now.
3 homers, you sleep like a baby. An extra REM cycle.
He'll lead off the bottom of the second against Clayton Kershaw. It was a big night last night for A.J. His first career 3-homer game. He got him in the 2nd, the 5th, and the 8th. All solo shots.
And hit a ball about 450 feet, just foul down that left field line before he hit his first home run of the game.
So here he is at 291. Beginning today, tied for the National League lead with 9 home runs.
Yeah, we during the Open talked about AJ's last 14 ball games. He's raised his average from 277 to 291 in 2 weeks.
He is red hot. Right now he's leading the league in OPS over 1,000. So last night his first career 3-home run game. We mentioned the 2-homer game April 14th against the Dodgers in LA. So he's got 9 home runs this year. 5 have come against Los Angeles. Seven games against the Dodgers this year. Pollock has 3 doubles, 5 homers, and 8 RBIs. Stay hot. I think with numbers like that, we'll all sleep better.
I know Torey will.
He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Slider missed. It's 3-1. Chris Sowings on deck.
He is just so locked in right now. It's not a guarantee that he's going to get a base hit or hit another home run, but just the way he's taking pitches, he is right on time with everything.
There goes another one. Wow. You were saying something about his timing.
Yeah, he looks like he's locked in a little bit. Got himself into a good hitter's count and does what a good hitter is supposed to do. Got a fastball middle in and just a line drive into those bleachers in left field. Stay hot.
He's got 10 home runs this year, 6 of them against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chris Owings. CO fights that off. Utley's over there to collect it. 1 down in the 2nd. A.J. Pollock with a jumbo jack, a free jumbo jack tomorrow, a Jack in the Box for the purchase of a large drink. Wow.
Of his last 15 hits, 7 have been home runs.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
I don't know how you take him out of the cleanup spot at this rate. Once some guys start coming back. Here's Ketel Marte, who's back in the lineup tonight. Had the day off yesterday, 224 and a home run. Oh, Tony Perez-Chica still got those good infielder hands. In the meantime, Marte's doing somersaults in the batter's box.
Yeah, I think he fouled that ball off his front foot before it went down to Tony Perez-Chica at third base. Well, maybe not. Just kind of lost his balance and stumbled out of the batter's box. I thought he fouled it off his front foot, but
you see, you know, that's our fault. That's our fault because we keep showing Brandon Webb. And it's just rubbing off on some of these guys. Webby's swing. Oh, got a hanging curveball that time, but couldn't keep it fair.
I think Webby was just way ahead of his time. You know, he had that uppercut swing, try to get the ball in the air, get some launch angle going.
He was always about launch angle back in the day.
Way ahead of his day.
Well, he always has been, really. Oof, close one to take for Ketel Marte, but it's 2-2. Greg Gibson says ball 2. Alex Avila behind the plate. He's on deck. Marte drives one at Peterson in center. Boy, that was slicing away from him toward right center field. 2 outs.
Yeah, kind of a banana route to that ball for Jock Peterson. Hit pretty hard slicing away from him, but he's able to run it down out there in deep center field.
Yeah, they were less than thrilled with his defense last year. They kind of got on him, Jock Peterson. Checking the defensive card that all the Dodger outfielders get. Where to stand against who. Wants to shade over toward left center field for Alex Avila. Three defenders on the right side. The third baseman Max Muncy midway between second and third. Fastball in there, 0-1. Alex walked as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning last night. 174 on the year. He's homered twice. There's the curveball. Kershaw has thrown that pitch a lot so far.
You know, we saw Zach Godley last night kind of go away from his usual pattern pitching against the Dodgers, threw a lot more fastballs, challenged the strike zone a lot more than we've seen him against the Dodgers in the past. I think Kershaw's trying a little different attack tonight, throwing a lot of curveballs.
We saw the Dodgers rearrange their defensive shift as Muncy moves over to in front of second base umpire Jordan Baker. Taylor back to shortstop. And we've seen this a lot against Alex Avila this year. The entire left side of the infield is wide open. Anything over there is a base hit. Trying a slider. It was up 1-2. Alex hasn't seen much left-hand pitching this year. 0 for 5 with 4 walks versus lefties.
He's had some good at bats against left-handed pitching. 4 walks would indicate that, including last night when he came in the game as a pinch hitter.
Another curveball. It's 2-2. Last year, Alex with the Tigers and Cubs hit .216 against left-handers. Devin Marrero would be next, the on-deck hitter. In there at third base tonight. Fastball caught the corner. Third strikeout for Kershaw, but A.J. Pollock continues his tear. 3 homers last night and another one tonight. It's 1-0 Diamondbacks. You can participate in our D-backs 50-50 charity raffle presented by the Arizona Lottery from right there at home, along with all of us at the ballpark. Your chance to win half the pot here at Chase Field and help the kids in our community. Get your tickets online during every D-backs home game on Fox Sports Arizona at dbacks.com/5050 raffle. And the winning number is always shown on the Diamondback Live postgame show. So stay tuned to see if you won. Chris Taylor leads off the third against Matt Koch. Good curveball from Matt right there. Jumps ahead 0-2. That pitch has come a long way for Matt Koch.
You know, and he doesn't really have to use it a lot until he feels more comfortable with it. If he can show it and keep it around the strike zone enough that the Dodger hitters have to respect it, then it's served its purpose.
Well, you asked Torey Lovullo what he most likes about Matt Koch, and Torey consistently answers mound presence. That's hit hard just over the glove of Ahmed. And into left center. Taylor 2 for 2. Yeah, we've talked about Matt being a strike thrower out there. Taylor barreled this one up.
Yeah, a little bit too much strike zone that time with 2 strikes. Could have tried to lead him out of the zone, but he was bit off a little bit more strike zone than he wanted to that time.
And here's Jock Peterson, who was hit in the leg by a pitch his first time up. But if you're a guy like Matt Koch, basically a rookie at 27 years old, you've got a grand total of 8 major league appearances and only 2 starts. It's got to take a certain amount of conviction and some courage to come right at big league hitters with your stuff the way Matt Koch has. And that goes back to mound presence. He really does carry himself very well out there.
And a phrase we've heard from pitching coaches forever: he needs to trust his stuff. Well, I think Matt Koch has reached that stage of his career where he does trust his stuff.
He certainly seems to. There's Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. They're still trying to come up with a plan to fill Robbie Ray's rotation spot later this week. Here's another cutter. Matt's been throwing that into left-handers most of the night so far. It's 1-1. Got to be careful with Peterson. He's heating up. 9 hits and 8 RBIs in his last 6 games. He might turn 2. Marte, Ahmed for 1, and they roll it. Second double play tonight behind Matt Koch.
The ball wasn't hit that hard, but Nick Ahmed makes up for it with that strong throwing arm on the pivot there at second base. Just fired a rocket to Goldie to complete that double play.
He is so quick with that release. And Nick, I should say, he was a high school pitcher growing up in Western Massachusetts. He had a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in high school. Most colleges wanted him as a pitcher, but he wanted to play shortstop. There's a curveball for strike 1. Now Yasmani Grandal hit into the other Dodger double play tonight. We will not go to commercial break at the end of this half inning. You'll want to stay here. Save that trip to the refrigerator for the next break, because after the final out in this top of the third, we're going to keep it here and show you Torey Lovullo and let you listen in to the D-back skipper, who's wearing a Fox Sports Arizona microphone for us tonight. Right there with bench coach Jerry Narin. So don't go anywhere once the third out is made. Being careful with Grandal. He's fallen behind 3-1. Bellinger on deck. Lost the handle on a cut fastball. Second walk for Matt tonight. The other was intentional.
Hey fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com. The Diamondbacks won the ball game last night. If you're sitting at home right now, go online, order yourself up a za. Get 50% off if you enter promo code DBACKS50. What a deal.
There's no bad time for pizza.
No, but the really good time is after a D-backs win.
Fastball away, 1-0. Cody Bellinger, last season's unanimous National League Rookie of the Year. 39 home runs. He knocked in 97. 39 homers, a National League rookie record. And second only to Giancarlo Stanton for the league lead, which was pretty impressive for a kid who played most of last year at 21 years old. He's 22 now. He'll be 23 in July. Took a big cut at a fastball up. It's 2-1.
It's amazing how poised and polished some of these guys like Cody Bellinger are at a very early age. You know, you think about playing in a good high school program, a good club program, get involved in all those showcase tournaments where you're playing with the best of the best.
Yeah, he's been doing that since he was a kid growing up in Chandler. Played on Chandler's Little League World Series team in '07. Started at Hamilton High School. Found himself hitting home runs in the World Series last year. Three balls and one strike. This one is crushed toward the right field foul pole. And he's able to keep it fair. Cody Bellinger, that's number 4. And it's 2-1 Dodgers.
Well, the first noise we've heard out of Dodger fans here in the first 2 games of this series, and can't blame them for cheering that home run. That was absolutely clubbed. Oh, felt high middle of the plate with that big long uppercut swing. There was no doubt about that one.
That was launched. Matt Kemp. Second home run given up this year by Matt Cook. Both of them long ones.
He doesn't give up any cheap ones.
Cordero homer, and that one by Bellinger. Kemp grounded out his first time.
All smiles and giggles over there between Dave Roberts and Cody Bellinger. Wasn't that way a couple days ago. Davey was very upset with his first baseman. He accused him of a lack of hustle, and Cody Bellinger said, "I always hustle."
He did not need to be told how to play, he said. Slowly hit to Ahmed, and that's the end of the top of the third, but the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead. Let's keep it right here and check in with the D-backs manager Torey Lovullo, who's mic'd up for Fox Sports Arizona.
It's always the quiet sleeper guys that have the loud, surprising music. Like, would you suspect this would be his music selection? I hadn't even thought about it, but no. It's his alter ego. It takes the mound every 5th day. I think every run's going to matter today. Good take. That's the one that everybody's swinging at. Unbelievable. That's a big league double play right there.
Catcher.
Just efficient throws, no hurry.
It's interesting when you're the bench coach, Bob, you're really the sounding board. I mean, every thought that comes into the manager's head, it probably helps him to verbalize it, and Jerry's just rebounding all of this stuff.
Yeah, some of it's actually about baseball. They were talking about Matt Cook's music when he takes the mound. He's another White Stripes fan. He goes with the Jack White song Lazaretto, and they said, can you believe this is the music this guy listens to?
I knew that you would know what it was.
Of course.
Now, did you do that to Mel? Just every thought you had in your head, eh, Mel?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, some of them actually had to do with baseball.
Well, here in the baseball game, it's now 2-1 LA as Devin Marrero leads off the bottom of the third. Cody Bellinger, a 2-run homer, his 4th of the year, has given LA the lead. So it's Marrero, Koch, Descalso, 8-9-1 here, the D-backs third. Diamondbacks got their 1 run on another A.J. Pollock home run, a solo shot. His 10th of the season. That leads the National League. Marrero at third tonight, 194. He's been playing third base against left-handers with Jake Lamb injured. All 5 of Marrero's RBIs this year have come against lefties. There was encouraging news on Jake Lamb today. He has continued to work out on his own program, coming off the shoulder sprain and the elbow tendonitis. And he was here working out before the game this afternoon. That one kicks away from Grandal. This was a big deal, though. First time he's actually made the throws with that elbow tendonitis across the diamond from third to first.
Yeah, and nobody's expecting Jake to air it out just yet. He just needs to get used to that longer throw from third base all the way across the diamond. Looked like he was doing fine today.
1-2. Yeah, you know, you look around. You and I were watching Steven Souza Jr. take batting practice. Ooh. Holy moly. He was killing the ball. And we've seen Shelby Miller throw off the bullpen mound as he comes back from Tommy John surgery. So before the games here, everybody who is on their own program coming back from this, that, and the other thing, they're all doing what they need to do, and it's fun to sort of keep track of everybody.
The before game workouts kind of goes in stages. You know, the guys that are coming back from injuries or the guys that need a little bit of extra work or a pitcher that's coming back from an injury, they're out here very early. Then you get the players start trickling out on the field for regular batting practice. Swing and bunt. Kershaw throws it away. It gets up the line. Marrero gets second base. A really difficult play. Kershaw would have been better off not throwing it at all, and instead he threw it away. I'm guessing hitting an error right there. I don't think they would have had Devin Marrero even with a good throw that time, but Kershaw, after getting to the ball in pretty good shape, he kind of fans on it right there. He didn't have a grip. He tried to re-grip the ball and just spiked it in the dirt down there to Cody Bellinger. You can see didn't have a real good handle. His catcher's laying at his feet as he tries to make that throw, and Devin Marrero's going to end up at second base. Boy, you talked about that the other day. It is indeed an error on Kershaw. About how on a play like that, when you're running and getting near the first base bag, looking off to your right to see if the ball is behind you, and that time it was. So now the corners crash and Koch fouls off a bunt attempt, and you can see Marrero looking back toward the line or toward the seats trying to find the baseball, and sure enough it was there. Yeah, obviously the first base coach is there to help you, but as a runner, once you hit that bag, immediately look to your right, and if you see the ball over there in foul territory, possibly have a chance to advance 90 feet like Marrero did right there. Well, they've put a second base hit up on the board here and a Dodger error, so I think you're right, single and E1. Here comes Bellinger creeping in from first. Koch pulls back and takes a strike. It's 0-2. Bellinger still in on the grass at first. Here he comes. Muncy at third. Squares to bunt with 2 strikes and strikes out.
Can't move the runner along. That'll bring up the leadoff man, Descalso. Boy, so many of those little 90-foot increments wind up being critical in ball games like this.
Oh yeah, and you heard Torrey say between innings, every run's going to be important in this ball game tonight, and I think he's absolutely right.
Is that the kind of a thing you just feel? It just kind of feels that way?
Yeah, you go out there and you see what the opposing pitcher is doing. You look at the opposing lineup, see how your guy is handling the mound that particular night, and some nights you just feel it. You know, we're going to have to play for a run at some point in this game.
Descalso flied out his first time. Greg Gibson called that ball 1. Remember, Descalso homered off Clayton Kershaw here at Chase Field back on April 3rd. Slices this one toward the left field corner, but it's out of play.
You know, partner, we talked about Kershaw's last start against the Marlins. Went 5 innings, walked 6 batters in that game, struck out 7, but only gave up 3 runs. It could have been a lot worse for Kershaw.
Amazing, huh?
First inning, he struck out the side swinging. All 3 batters went down swinging. Second inning, he gave up back-to-back hits, a wild pitch, a walk, but got out of the inning without a run scoring. In the third inning, he got 2 quick outs and then back-to-back walks. Got out of that with no run scoring.
6 walks, tied a career high. This is trying to get down. Verdugo has got it in fair territory. And Marrero still at second now with 2 outs, and Nick Ahmed is the hitter.
But wait, there's more. In the 4th inning, Kershaw gave up a leadoff double, a single, walked a man, but then got 3 outs and once again did not allow a run to score.
Wow.
In the 5th inning, it caught up with him. He got 2 quick outs to start the inning, back-to-back walks, and then a 3-run home run by Miguel Rojas.
The last time Kershaw had issued 6 walks in a game was April of 2010. So you're talking 8 years. Ahmed struck out his first time up, trying to get Marrero home from second with 2 outs. Kershaw had 40 pitches, 26 strikes. Muncy has it at third. Well, they had a runner at second, nobody out, but he ends up there. Still 2-1 LA. Time for Lowe's whole team together. D-backs at Chase Field this year under Torey Lovullo. 10-3. The big number for me, Bob, is the bottom one, team ERA.
Yeah, absolutely.
In what is considered a hitter's ballpark.
All starts out there on that bump. The starters have done a great job. The bullpen has been absolutely lights out this year.
Utley struck out his first time up. D-backs have the shift on. You see Marrero with a step on the grass midway between second and third. Imagine Chase Utley trying to bunt for a base hit at 39 years old. The Silver Fox.
We talked about that last night. It seems like he shows bunt almost every at bat against the Diamondbacks this year, but I haven't seen him put one down yet.
He's just messing with him. There's that slow Matt Cook curveball. 1-2.
Well, partner, you talked about the pitching here at Chase Field this year. The starting pitchers for the Diamondbacks are 9-0 at home. The first team in the National League to have its starting pitchers win their first 9 decisions at home since 1923.
Wow.
Corbin's 4-0, Greinke's 2-0, Godley's 2-0, Robbie Ray 1-0.
Well, the way Zach Greinke has pitched in this ballpark over the last year or so, really remarkable. Verdugo on deck. 2-2 on Utley. Slaps it the other way. Descalso on the run, and he misses it. Utley heads for second. That was slicing away from Daniel toward the left field foul pole.
Yeah, it was slicing away from him the entire time. Just didn't get the glove on the ball right there, off the webbing, up against the bullpen fence. Utley ends up at second base.
So the leadoff man in scoring position for Verdugo, who doubled over there his first time up. Wind is picking up here in the ballpark. Roof is open. The outfield panels are closed, and when we do that, it can swirl around in here a little bit. Definitely swirling last night.
If you have a friend out there who's a broadcaster and you don't know what to get him for Christmas or a birthday, paperweights are always a nice gift.
Even in this modern age.
Well, we were in the booth in D.C. and that wind was gusting and it was blowing paper everywhere.
It blew the monitors off the table. Of course, we're 1,000 feet in the air in D.C. That didn't help either. Do they even make paperweights anymore?
I'm sure they do at the gift shops and stuff like that. You know, souvenirs, probably at the airport.
You get like a Grand Canyon paperweight or something.
Yeah, a little snow globe, maybe shake it up a little bit.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, sure. Yeah, right there. Just use your bottle, your phone. That one just misses Cook. Ahmed is behind the bag. Utley moves up, and they retire Verdugo.
It's a good thing it did miss Matt Cook. I mean, Nick Ahmed was right where he needed to be on that ground ball. Didn't have to move a step.
Oh, we'll see if Matt can pick up his left fielder here. Strand that runner at third with 1 out. Max Muncy was given a free pass his first time up. You've got the pitcher behind him on deck in Kershaw.
Could possibly be the same situation. If he jumps ahead in the count, they may let him go ahead and try to put Muncy away. If he falls behind, they may go ahead and put him on.
Fastball misses in. 1-0. Muncy's hit safely in 3 straight games. Had the home run against Yoshi Hirano here last night. His second of the year. Mentioned Yoshi Hirano. Yoshi and Archie Bradley, Brad Boxberger have now all worked, let's see, 3 of the last 4 days. So they could be a little thin back there tonight. Bullpen, especially the back end guys, have had to work a lot lately. Hard to second. Marte spins and throws. Thought about coming home. Instead, they get the sure out. Utley scores, and it's 3-1. It was hit hard enough for Ketel to have a chance, but Utley gets in there.
Yeah, Utley's off on contact. Yeah, I think that's a good decision right there. It would have been very close at home plate with a perfect throw. Marte decides just to take the out at first.
So the run scores, base is empty, 2 down for Kershaw, who struck out looking his first time up.
Obviously, if Ketel doesn't have to leave his feet to make that play, he's in a much better position to make that throw home, and they probably would get Utley. But once he had to dive to his left, go down to a knee, I think he did the wise thing right there.
We've talked about this particular defensive infield a lot this year when you've got essentially 3 shortstops out there with Goldie. 3 guys whose natural position is shortstop in Marrero and Ahmed and Marte.
And another one out in right field in Chris Owings.
That's true too.
They're everywhere.
You got shortstops all over the field. And you got the guy who's a second and third baseman out in left. Giants are hosting the Padres again. San Diego has a 1-0 lead. They're in the second inning at AT&T Park. The Rockies beat the Cubs at Wrigley 3-1 today. Kershaw sends one out to left. Descalso is there. And that ends the inning. LA tacks on another run. D-backs trail at 3-1.
Facing off against Clayton Kershaw, and these two date back to high school. Goldie grew up in Houston and Kershaw just outside of Dallas, and the two of them faced each other one time in high school playing club baseball. I asked Paul Goldschmidt what he remembers about that, and he said, well, Kershaw does what he still does today. He struck me out. And I also asked Goldie if he could tell at that time that Kershaw was a special player, and Goldie said, yeah, and it played out that way that summer. After all, Kershaw was drafted in the first round by the Dodgers, 7th overall. Goldie, though, also drafted by the Dodgers back in 2006, that same year. He went in the 49th round, 1,453rd overall pick. But this story does have a happy ending. It was, of course, the Diamondbacks that drafted him back in 2009 in the 8th round. And, well, now here he is, guys.
You're right, Kate, out of Texas State University. And here they are again, the two Texans squaring off. Goldie struck out looking at a wicked Kershaw curveball his first time to win the first. Kershaw was the 7th overall selection in that 06 draft out of Highland Park High School. Fly ball deep center field. Peterson at the track. He's shy of the wall and he's got it. A.J. Pollock at it again. A 3-homer game last night. This is A.J. to lead off the second here tonight.
104.9 miles an hour off the bat at 23-degree launch angle.
He's got 10 home runs this year. 6 of them have come against the Dodgers. You see that OPS right there, on base percentage plus slugging percentage. He leads the National League. Backdoor curveballs in there, and it's 0-1. AJ last night was searching and trying to explain to reporters what's the deal, and he just kind of had to give up and laugh. He didn't have any answers. He's worked awfully hard on everything, but he says, look, there's just stretches throughout the year where you see the ball, and there's stretches where you don't, and some days it just works, and that was about the best he could do.
Yeah, and for some guys it happens a lot more frequently than for others.
You mentioned the timing and how locked in that timing of his swing is. How can you tell that?
It's just kind of an instinctive thing. I mean, especially as a catcher, you know the timing. You know approximately how long it's going to take that ball to get from the pitcher's hand into the hitting zone and what the hitter should do in that time. You got to take your stride, get the front foot down, get your hands in a good load position, keep your head on the ball, all those things that a good hitter has to do. Even when they take pitches, they do all those things, and AJ just looks like he is right on time for everything. His foot's down, his hands are in a good spot, his eyes are locked on that pitch.
Well, counting tonight, AJ in his last 15 games has 9 home runs and 16 RBIs.
I mean, we've all heard golfers talk about standing over a putt and they could just see the line. They knew exactly where they had to putt it to get it in the hole. Or a basketball player that feels like the hoop is 10 feet around and everything they throw up there hits nothing but net. You get in those zones, and unfortunately they don't last forever. But boy, when you're in one of them like AJ is right now, you just feel like you can hit a home run at will.
Well, Kershaw is trying to get him out here with fastballs and sliders away. It's still a ball and 2 strikes. AJ's home run in that second inning, the only base hit by a D-back tonight that's left the infield. Kershaw 50 pitches, 34 strikes. He's not walked a batter tonight after walking 6 in his last start against the Marlins last week. He's got 4 strikeouts. Doesn't bite on a slider, and he's back even 2-2.
And you know who else notices when the hitter's locked in?
Who?
The guy on the mound. Kershaw just threw that hard slider down and in. That's a pitch that I bet you he wanted AJ to swing at that pitch. It looked like a strike. It just fell out of the zone at the last instant, and Kershaw kind of shrugged his shoulders. He expected AJ to swing at that.
That's headed for radio. Everybody's okay. Still 2-2. He's fighting off a whole bunch here. I'm still looking at that Kershaw line from the start versus the Marlins last week. To think that Clayton Kershaw needed 112 pitches just to get through 5 innings. That seems just unbelievable.
He's human.
Apparently. 2-2. Kershaw did beat the D-backs at Dodger Stadium back on April 15th, and he dominated in that start. Gave up only 2 hits in 7 innings, had 12 strikeouts. It's a tapper into the shift. Taylor, the shortstop, has it. Low throw, and they just did get him in first. Nice scoop there by Bellinger.
Really no waste of time by Chris Taylor at all, and it's a bang play at first.
Chris Owings now. CO grounded out his first time. This is a bat that the D-backs would like to get going. Chris is down to 227 on the year. It was 0 for 5 at a start at second base last night. Wind is really swirling around the outfield now. Candlestick.
Yeah, candlestick like here at Chase Field.
Look at that. Roof is open. Outfield panels are closed. There's that Kershaw slider. Center field, Peterson got a late break and it drops in front. He had a sort of momentary panic there, Jock Peterson, almost a stutter step, couldn't figure out which way to break, right or left. And Owings has a 2-out single.
Yeah, Jock Peterson always plays a very deep center field to begin with, so he got a late break on that one, kind of stutter stepped, as you said, to his right a couple of steps, and then decides just to play it on a hop.
You can see by his jersey how windy it is out there. Here's Ketel Marte, who lined out hard to center his first time. Now we've got a lot of dust kicking around out there.
This reminds me a little bit of Game 7 of the World Series in 01 when it started raining out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's getting interesting in here, that's for sure. Look at Archie. What's going on up there?
Kershaw's always been tough to run on. He's very quick to home plate, very unorthodox setup in the stretch position, very tough to get a jump on him.
Ketel Marte back in there. He had the day off yesterday. This is interesting with Ketel. He's been much more productive from the right side of the plate, over .290 batting right-handed with 5 extra base hits. Usually with him it's the other way around. Uh-oh. Green blobs. That's never good. Out there on the home run porch. That's a great seat. That's right where AJ hit his home run, or Nick Ahmed hit a home run out there. Trying a curveball. 2-1. He's fallen behind 3 balls and a strike. Avila's on deck. .60 pitches, 39 for strikes. And with 2 outs, a single and a walk, put 2 on for Avila. First walk issued by Kershaw tonight. Alex struck out looking his first time up. Well, remember that big night that Alex had in the first game at Philadelphia when he had the 2 hard hit singles and the long home run. It was in awful weather conditions. Cold, windy, it rained half the game, rained hard. But Torey Lovullo was saying, you know, you really believe that Alex is that guy you saw in that game against the Phillies last Tuesday. And eventually the hits are going to start dropping. Good fastball at the knees from Kershaw, 1-1. I mean, they see a guy here with a real professional approach. Solid back spinning the ball middle of the diamond.
And rarely chases a bad pitch.
Yeah, you're right. He's always been a good on base percentage guy. I don't think enough attention is paid to guys who change leagues. That seems to have thrown off a number of guys this year. JD Martinez even had a bit of a slow start, and he's been a long time American leaguer.
Seeing all new pitchers. I mean, unless somebody came over from the American League at the same time you did, you're seeing all new pitchers.
I mean, Eric Hosmer's really having a tough time in San Diego after playing in Kansas City his whole career. That one is slap foul. And Alex was saying he's watched more video now than he has in years, just trying to familiarize himself with some of these guys. There's the brain trust. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, on the end there. Tony Perez-Chica coaching at third. Two on, two out, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Alex Avila.
Occasionally during the course of a ball game, occasionally, you know, the third base coach will get himself into a position to wave that runner around from second base, and you can see he's standing right in front of the brain trust over there. This happened to us occasionally, and I would just yell out to Eddie Rodriguez or whoever was coaching third, Glenn Sherlock, hey, hit and run.
You don't need a sign for that.
You don't need signs. They're close enough they can hear you.
Good slider there from Kershaw. Didn't get the call, and it's 2-2. Marrero would be next. Chris Owings at second, Ketel Marte at first. D-backs have it out hit 4-3. They trail it 3-1 here in the 4th. Got the slider. Kershaw gets the strikeout. That's his 5th. He strands 2. It stays 3-1 LA.
Paul, I'm mic'd up, so be careful. Don't cuss, okay?
I don't even see the mic.
Secret. In my ear.
Are you really mic'd up?
I swear to God. Sick right now. You can't even see it, huh?
I was going to say something funny, but
You can say it.
no, I can't.
Patrick Kirsch is editing everything. It won't go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't trust Kersh.
Well, nobody does, frankly. He's in the truck listening right now. Patrick Kirsch from the D-back staff. It was funny to watch Goldie actually look for the mic. You could see his eyes. Where is it? Here's Chris Taylor to start the 5th. That's good stuff. Torrey mic'd up tonight for Fox Sports Arizona. Whether Goldie believes him or not.
Well, I like the fact that you can't see it. You know, if we can hide it and put it on players like we have in the past, you know, because everybody stays away from the guy with the mic on.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah, well, if you can't see it, you know, you can really ambush some of your teammates.
Bug the clubhouse or something. Taylor has singled twice. So far, Matt Cook has given up 3 runs on 4 hits. Curveballs fouled away. He's walked 2, 1 intentional. And he's got 2 strikeouts. The big blow, Cody Bellinger's 2-run home run in the 3rd. The other Dodger run scored on a Max Muncy RBI ground out after a ball that Chase Utley hit went off the glove of Daniel Descalso in left field. You must have had to wear a mic at some point during all the World Series, all that stuff. Didn't they mic you up?
That's not something I enjoyed very much, but yeah.
Well, you and microphones have rarely gotten along. Wait, what? What was wrong with that? This is hit out to AJ in center field. I mean, you know, you're a very diplomatic guy. You're not a controversial type.
Well, when I had the uniform on, occasionally my language would get a little salty.
No, that's not true.
And with that team I had, it was salty most of the time. So, yeah, I was always embarrassed. I didn't want to embarrass myself or the team, you know. I tried to cover it up if I was, you know, talking strategy or something, but that didn't work.
The strategy or the covering up?
Neither one.
No, okay. Jock Peterson. D-backs overload the right side of the infield.
I'll tell you, for a manager, what's worse than wearing a mic is that robotic camera that they mount on the railing of the dugout. And I mean, it's like 6 inches away from your face.
You got one of those right now.
Well, yeah, I know.
You're not used to it yet?
Well, when you're down there in the dugout, you know every time something bad happens, they're taking that camera shot 6 inches away from your face. So
get the cutaway of an angry Brenly.
Had to be very careful about that.
Edit that in. 70 pitches, 43 strikes for Matt Cook. Well, Torrey, you know, his dad, he grew up in a TV family. He's used to this kind of stuff. His dad was a producer on the old Hee Haw show. Growing up in the LA area.
Hey, Grandpa, what's for dinner?
Had Roy Clark and Buck Owens, right?
Owens, yeah. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Deep, dark depression, excessive misery.
Why am I here? What is it?
If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
You met another, and you was gone. That's good TV right there.
That was good TV.
2-2. Jock Peterson. That was interesting because you saw Peterson step out, ask for time. Greg Gibson just kind of nodded but didn't signal timeout.
Yeah, I think Cookie had thrown that pitch.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think he got time right there.
It would have been on. I don't think time had been called.
That was, you don't see that a lot.
Well, we see Peterson call timeout a lot,
especially on those full counts. But Gibby just kind of nodded or something. I don't know. Matt decided not to throw the ball. That one trickles foul.
Hey, fans, receive 15% off at the Chase Field Team Shop when you use the card by Gila River Casinos.
There's some good stuff down there, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is loaded up. You got every color and uniform combo, T-shirt, State 48 stuff, a million different kinds of hats, throwback jerseys. Team store is loaded here at the ballpark. Got the fastball in, a little too far in for Greg Gibson. That was off the plate inside, and it's full 3-2. You know what I like about one of the team stores here is they have all the minor league stuff. You can buy
very cool.
Jackson Generals T-shirts and hats, and Visalia Rawhide, Kane County stuff, Hillsboro, Reno. Matt Cook is familiar with all those places. Last year, just one appearance with the D-backs in relief. He worked at Reno and Hillsboro last year. 12 starts in the minors. He loses Peterson. That's his third walk. Matt's season last year, after he looked so good in 2016, last year was kind of a washout for him. He dealt with injuries all last year. A right shoulder impingement kept him out for the first 3 months. And then he was at Hillsboro for about 10 minutes. 12 minor league starts, mostly with Reno. Then he developed a blister problem and had to sit out again. So he just never could get going last year. But he has pitched extremely well this season. Grandal has hit into a double play, walked and scored. Remember the first time we saw Matt Cook was 2 years ago. Got that spot start. Has a September call up in Washington, D.C. Final road trip of the year. We only had 3 or 4 games left, and he, in his first career big league start, took a no-hitter into the 6th inning in Washington. Retired 14 straight at one point. And then came back here. Finished up with 6 innings of 1-run ball against the Padres. So he had a ton of momentum going into last year, but just couldn't stay healthy. And so far tonight at 80 pitches in the ball game. He walked Peterson, behind on Grandal, 2-0. Change up and away. Matt from the small town of Cherokee, Iowa. There's about 5,000 people in Cherokee. He was a high school baseball and track star. He set the school record in the high jump there. Pitched collegiately at Louisville. Mets got him in the 3rd round. D-backs acquired him from New York in the Addison Reed deal late in the 2015 season. Bellinger hit a long home run his last time up, back in the 3rd. A high fastball for Matt Cook. Grandal gets a challenge fastball there, and Matt gets his 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, just rears back and throws a high fastball right by Grandal up there above the letters. Yeah, Matt's got some good zip on that fastball tonight.
Yeah, we've seen that velocity get up, or close to 95 or so. That's a lot for Matt. Bellinger hammered one in the 3rd, his 4th of the year. Almost onto the concourse back there in the right field corner. It looked a little something like this after there were nobody on, 2 outs. He walked Grandal, and then Bellinger unloads. Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. 4:35. Kind of fights that one off. There's a little flare out there that Ahmed tracks down. Matt Cook threw 5. D-backs trail it though, 3-1.
Coors timeless moment. It's appropriate a timeless moment for the ageless one. At the age of 44, Nolan Ryan throws his 7th career no-hitter, punched out 16 Blue Jays. He becomes the oldest player to ever throw a no-hitter back in 1991.
Well, had those Blue Jay hitters been coached by Sean Payton, that no-hitter never would have happened.
No.
There he is, working hard at the ballpark here. Look at the wind down on the field, really swirling here inside with the roof open and the outfield panels closed. Devin Marrero leads off the 5th against Clayton Kershaw. Marrero batting 8th. Looks like Matt Cook's night is over. Christian Walker is out of the on-deck circle. You know, Matt in that start at Philly last week was kind of hanging on. You could see the needle get to E about the 6th inning. And he was able to get through that 6th inning. He's done so in both starts so far. But I think Torrey maybe anticipating that, and down 3-1 here, decides to hit for Cook in the bottom of the 5th.
That's one of the tougher things a manager has to do, is take a starting pitcher who's been very effective out of a ball game just because you need offense. You need to score some runs to get back in this game.
And the bullpen is really tired back there. Those guys have worked a lot lately. It is really howling out there in center. You can see our center field cameras are having trouble. Silvino Brancho just called up yesterday. It is raining inside the ballpark and inside the Sanderson Ford bullpen. This is belted, but right to Muncy at 3rd. Hang with him.
Yeah, it is a big hang with him. Got a good pitch to hit, put a nice swing on it, barreled it up, unfortunately hit it right at the Dodger third base.
The funny thing was, you know, Marrero the first time up hit one about 2.5 feet and got a base hit. That one he hit a missile to 3rd and got nothing.
What a game.
It's great, isn't it? Here's Walker, 1 for 13 on the year. The Kershaw slider 0-1. Christian struck out as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning last night. 1 for 9 in a pinch hit role this year. And 1 was the RBI double that broke up the Tyson Ross no-hitter on the last homestand. Sooner or later you think we got to close this thing up. It's getting nasty in here. Nope. Yeah, you got to open it. That's our crew performing a bit.
A bit.
It doesn't really work with a crank. How about Jordan Baker?
Better put some rocks in your pocket so you don't blow away.
I had pants like that in the 80s. Walker belts one way out of here and gone. Oh my goodness. Christian Walker, go get it. Well, Walker had a couple of pinch hit home runs last September for the D-backs, and that one was absolutely launched.
Looked like a slider up above the belt that time, right in the middle of the plate. Thought Cody Bellinger's was a no-doubter. This one lands up in Friday's Front Row Sports Grill.
We're hearing 478 feet. 478 for Christian Walker. Here's Descalso. Bellinger's was a pop-up compared to that thing. Oh my goodness, Christian Walker. That is a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Well, he hit 32 at Reno last year, which was an Aces record. Just the 4th hit for the D-backs against Kershaw. His 6th home run, his 7th home run he's given up this year, his 2nd tonight.
Goldie's still looking for that mic. Slider, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Boy, that thing was hammered. Oh, wow. This is headed for left center, and it gets down. Verdugo over there. It's a single for Descalso. That is the Christian Walker home run ball right in your dinner. There's a baseball in my burger.
It's got some barbecue sauce on it.
Nick Ahmed 0 for 2. Head is way up there. And the crowd's getting into it now. Kershaw's kept them quiet for most of the night, but it's starting to percolate here in the 5th. Ahmed homered here last night. His 3rd consecutive multi-hit game. Christian Walker has made it a 3-2 LA lead.
Well, that's a fastball that Kershaw spiked out there in front of home plate at 93. The labor through that 4th inning. Diamondbacks left a couple runners on base in the 4th.
Remember, in his last start, he threw 112 pitches through 5 innings against the Marlins. He walked 6 in that ball game. Trying to get Matt Cook one more run, get him off the hook. Oh man, a tough hop, and Utley can't handle it. He tries the backhand flip right on the button by Ahmed. 3 consecutive hits against Kershaw.
Well, the only out in this inning was a line drive right at Max Muncy at 3rd base. Another hard hit ball back up the middle of the field, just eats up Chase Utley. Tried the no-look flip behind his back that time to get a force at 2nd base, but no out to be had there.
Here's Goldie. 2 on and 1 out. He has struck out, flied out 0 for 2. He's gone to that curveball to start off a lot of these hitters lately. Goldie 3 home runs in his career against Clayton Kershaw. Boy, slider right there at the knees away, and it's 0-2. That's why he's Clayton Kershaw right there. Descalso at 2nd and Ahmed at 1st. Following the Walker homer. Fastball right on the edge of the strike zone. A little too far off for Greg Gibson. Kershaw wanted it. 1-2. Tried it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Always looking ahead. Needs a mound visit with the Osmani Grandal.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Well, the taco run is at the plate right now. Two and two. Hard slider missed, and it's full. AJ on deck. Fly ball. Left field. Verdugo has room. It's up in the wind. 2 down.
Boy, it just got under it a little bit. Hit that ball a mile in the air out to the warning track in left field.
Well, here you go. Pollock has homered and grounded out. 3 home runs last night. Another one in his first at bat tonight. Two on and 2 out. D-backs have out hit the Dodgers 6-4, but they trail it 3-2. Another first pitch curveball.
Crucial part of the ball game right here. Everybody's slowing things down. Kershaw taking a lot more time between pitches. AJ waits till he gets on the rubber before he gets in the batter's box.
Adam Lubitor is going to start warming up in the LA bullpen. Here's the 1-0. Slider is low. Well, they call it a strike. 1-1.
Not sure if Greg Gibson had a real good look at that low slider. Grandal was coming up out of his crouch to throw to second base on a pickoff attempt.
Bracho and Chafin in the D-back bullpen. They've already hit for Koch. Here's Liberatore, the lefty. Mark Pryor, the bullpen coach out there for LA. Belted foul. And there's Kathy, the General Grant, out there to cover. And our Golden Glover down the left field line. Right field tonight, it's Ross Skip Miller. Two on, 2 outs, 2 balls, and 2 strikes.
Obviously, with 2 strikes, AJ's got to swing at anything close to the strike zone right now. But boy, you would love to see that count go full, get those runners in motion on that 3-2 pitch.
Bounce to shortstop for Taylor. And they get the force at third. Christian Walker, almost 490 feet, pulls the D-backs within 1. Mobile, we were just in Washington, D.C. talking about Davey Martinez, the longtime Joe Madden bench coach, and Madden would occasionally put Anthony Rizzo's or somebody in the leadoff spot. Well, Martinez had Bryce Harper batting leadoff tonight, and he homered against the Pirates.
Well, it seems to make a lot of sense. Teams have been walking Bryce Harper at an alarming rate. If they're going to walk him, might as well have him at the top of the order.
Tell you what doesn't make sense, those bright red helmets and the blue shirts. That's not a good look. Here at Chase Field, it's a good ball game. 6th inning, 3-2, LA leads it. And the Sheriff, Andrew Chafin, who threw 20 pitches in the ball game last night, is on to start the 6th. Matt Kemp, 0 for 2, leads it off for the Dodgers.
Yeah, a lot of lefties in this Dodger lineup tonight. Only Matt Kemp and Chris Taylor swinging it from the right side. You do have the switch hitter Yasmani Grandal in that 3 spot, but everybody else in the Dodger lineup swings it from the left side tonight.
Kemp has twice grounded out to shortstop. He had an RBI single as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning last night against Archie Bradley. Descalso toward left center field. 1 out.
Big first out to get through a tough right-hander right there. Now he's got a string of 3 left-handed hitters in a row.
Here's Utley, who has struck out. Last time up, he hit a ball that sliced out toward Descalso in the left field corner. It bounced off Daniel's glove. Utley wound up at second, eventually came home on a Max Muncy ground ball. There's the defensive alignment against him. And so far, that run is the difference in the ball game.
Have a little snack here before the next pitch.
Couple of fastballs have missed, and Andrews behind 2-0. Went back there again, 2-1. Utley 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 2 so far tonight. And in his last 10 games, he's just 4 for 23, and all 4 of those hits came in the same game. That was at San Francisco over the weekend. All fastball so far, and he's behind 3-1. Alex Verdugo and all his accoutrement on deck.
Good word.
Every once in a while. I mean, he's got a lot going on there.
He sure does.
Tucson native.
Ooh.
I was right there at the knees. Craig Gibson said no. A 1-out walk for Utley. I think Andrew had a couple of fastballs that showed up as strikes in that at bat that were called balls. So he's got to work around that. Verdugo has doubled and grounded out. He's 1 for 2. Went to the slider and got the strike call. It starts with the cleats, and then he's got the Doogie shin protector. Strangely colored socks, the bright red batting gloves, and the gold necklace. That one got Avila.
Inside of the right thigh. Square shot that time.
Professional courtesy. Greg Gibson will walk the baseball out to the mound to give Avila a moment to collect himself.
Boy, those leave multicolored bruises. Inside of the thigh, it's like a rainbow. A week from now, he will have 700 different colors on that bruise on the inside of his right thigh.
That guy's leg looks like a bag of Skittles. 0-2 on Verdugo. Just what he needed after that, a ball in the dirt.
Sure,
he had a block.
why not?
Dave Roberts says Verdugo will see a lot of time in the outfield now that Yasiel Puig's on the DL. Puig's got a hip pointer and a foot bruise. Verdugo was in right field last night. He's in left tonight. He's only 21 years old. There's Puig, one of the many Dodgers, one of the many disabled Dodgers. Fastball right down the middle that time. I mean, what they've gone through is just, it's stupid. I mean, Turner's been out all year. Puig on the DL Sunday. When they lost Turner, Forsythe moved from second to third. Now he's got a sore shoulder from throwing. And just one after another for LA. And then they lose yesterday. Corey Seager for the season with Tommy John surgery. That's coming up later this week. Rich Hill has scratched from his start last night. I mean, it's been unbelievable what they've been through. But the D-backs have injury issues of their own.
Yeah. You know what else was unbelievable? What the Dodgers did in the first half of the season last year. What, 42-8? Something like that. A 50-game stretch. It was just crazy. Well, those things don't happen very often, obviously, and having half your roster go on the disabled list at the same time doesn't happen very often either.
Utley is back safely. Well, Seager, who's got that sprained ulnar collateral ligament, will have his Tommy John surgery Friday in LA. Dr. Neil Elatrash will do that. And they're just hoping he'll be ready in the spring and by opening day. But right now, that's obviously uncertain. But they got a long way to go to get there first. Marrero with the shift on, and they get the tag on Utley. So that's a 5 unassisted putout at second base. Verdugo, fielder's choice, brings up Muncy.
Hey fans, streaks were made to be broken, so make history and win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS.
That game is so frustrating.
Believe me.
I had Peralta last night. I was ready to get to 6, top of the mountain. 6 whole games in a row. And David went down. Oh, that was frightening last night. Muncy has been walked intentionally. His RBI ground out is the difference in the ball game right now. The news on David is shockingly encouraging. Torrey told us before the game today he actually expects to see Peralta in the game at some point tonight. It's a miracle nothing was broken on that right hand. Big concern about that is because that's the same right wrist on which he had surgery 2 years ago, and that was a real problem for David. Just thank goodness that there was nothing broken in there. Torrey was telling us today, you know, I went out there, he was saying I was scared because his hand was shaking. You thought the worst.
Yeah, before Torrey could even get comfortable back in the dugout, Gerard Dyson had a collision at first base with Cody Bellinger. He had to come right back out on the field to check on Dyson.
Dyson was flying around, spinning up in the air. It's a tired ball club right now. The bullpen's worked a lot lately. They got some key injuries. Little guys, some guys are banged up. But you can't look over to the Dodger dugout certainly for any sympathy. Nor would they. Two balls, one strike on Max Muncy, the Dodger third baseman. Fastballs a strike, and it's 2-2. Kershaw's spot is up next. Kike Hernandez is in the on-deck circle. The bullpen's been busy for Los Angeles. Muncy really making Andrew Chafin work here. Pollock and Walker, 2 home runs off Kershaw. That's been all the D-backs scoring tonight. Got him. Went back to the slider. Andrew Chafin gets us to the home half of the 6th inning. D-backs trail at 3-2. Trail the Dodgers 3-2. A reminder, if you can't watch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device. Use Fox Sports Go. It's presented by T-Mobile. Download the free app. Take Fox Sports Arizona. And your D-backs with you wherever you go. Clayton Kershaw back out there for the bottom of the 6th inning. Chris Owings, Ketel Marte, Alex Avila due up for the D-backs 5, 6, and 7. CO is grounded out single. He's 1 for 2.
All right, shot of the team shop reminds me, as a public service, I will announce to the fans that there's only 237 shopping days till Christmas.
You do track that, I've noticed.
I do.
Well, you got a lot of folks back in Ohio you got to take care of. You got a million grandbabies. It's a long list. This is popped up behind first. Utley ranging over there. It's up in the wind. And he's got it. Ketel Marte has lined out hard to center and walk. He's been about a .290 hitter this year from the right side of the plate. Giants trailing the Padres in San Francisco 2-1. They're in the 6th inning. Rockies beat the Cubs at Wrigley Field today 3-1. That's fouled away. Astros are in here on Friday. This is the first time in their history the D-backs have played last year's 2 league champions in consecutive series. The 2 teams from the World Series are both here this week. 4 against the Dodgers, 3 against Houston.
Yeah, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but highly encourage the fans to get out here and watch the defending world champion Houston Astros. Garrett Cole game 1, Charlie Morton game 2, and Justin Verlander on Sunday.
Did you see Charlie Morton last night?
Ooh,
man, he is filthy.
I think Verlander had 14 punch outs tonight.
Utley's got a charge, and they're able to get Marte. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. 2 more to go against these boys in blue. Tomorrow night, Zach Godley, the bull, on the mound against Hyunjin Ryu. Ryu comes in 3-0 with a 2.22 ERA in 5 starts. D-backs live pregame show at 6 on Fox Sports Arizona. Zach Godley and Christian Walker. Avila has struck out twice, 0 for 2. Speaking of postseason reunions, the Astros right now hosting the Yankees. Yankees beat them tonight 4-0. That was a good series last October. Taylor, the shortstop, on the first base side of second against Avila. Swing and a miss. The Kershaw slider. It's 0-2. .100 pitches. He threw 112 in his last start. He's given up 6 hits, 2 home runs. A.J. Pollock in the 2nd. Christian Walker in the 5th. And he strikes out Avila. We head to the 7th. D-backs trail at 3-2.
That's good. You know, that's why to me depths are so important. If he's in, it's a base hit. Right. So the depth there is so important. You need every inch there. Really, that ball's hit to him.
We have a chance.
Right to him, he would have absolutely had a knockdown out at home plate. But what it does is he can move laterally.
Yeah.
So the position was perfect. Good job.
Positioning was perfect for Ketel Marte on that play. You may have noticed when the play started, Marte wasn't playing all the way in. He was playing what they call a halfway position. Wasn't able to get the out at home plate. However, he kept the base hit out of right field, and he was commenting to Tony Paraschica that that's exactly where he wanted him, and that's exactly what happened.
Tony responsible for positioning the infielders. We've got a double switch here for Torey Lovullo checking in with Greg Gibson. John Ryan Murphy on his way in. We're back after this.
Baseball history brought to you by Geico. A lot of records on this day. On May 1st, 1991, Rickey Henderson passed Lou Brock to become baseball's all-time stolen base leader with his 939th career steal. He'll finish his 25-year career with 1,406 stolen bases.
And of course, the now famous line from that day. And today I am the greatest of all time.
Yes, indeed. And just a couple hours later, Nolan Ryan went out and threw his 7th no-hitter, and Rickey had to go to page 2.
Silvino Bracho on from the D-back bullpen to start the 7th inning. Torey Lovullo waited until Austin Barnes was announced as the pinch hitter for Clayton Kershaw, so a double switch here. John Ryan Murphy takes over behind the plate for Alex Avila. Murphy will bat 9th, pitcher spot now 7th in the D-backs lineup, and it's Bracho and Barnes to start the 7th inning. Austin Barnes hit by a pitch, we believe, as a pinch hitter last night. Video is somewhat inconclusive. Barnes only 3 for his last 22 up there. He's not been getting the consistent level of at-bats he was getting down the stretch and in the postseason last year, when really he took over the Dodgers starting catcher's job. He was back there almost every night in September and October. Grandal was really slumping. Fastball at 94, up and in, 1-2. Silvino Bracho up and down from the minor leagues to the D-backs last year 8 different times. And he's on that merry-go-round again this year. Long run for Goldie in foul ground. He's able to get underneath, and they retire Barnes to start the 7th. Bracho faced these Dodgers in his one appearance for the D-backs, and he was really impressive. 3 innings, and he had 7 strikeouts in LA April 15th. Here's Chris Taylor, who's 2 for 3, singled twice.
Yeah, that was another one of those days where Torey needed somebody from the bullpen to come in and eat up some innings, and it happened to be Silvino Bracho that day against the Dodgers.
He was impressive. There's the changeup. Well, that fastball combo, I mean, Braccio throws a good rising fastball. And when he backs it up with a changeup like that, he can be a lot to handle. He's got good movement north and south with those two pitches. Taylor hits one out to Descalso in left field. Although the physicists will tell you that there's no such thing as a rising fastball.
It just doesn't show the effects of gravity as much as another pitcher might. And we talk about spin rate a lot in relation to breaking balls, but you know, they measure spin rate on fastballs too, and some guys can spin it a little harder than others, and because of the backspin on the baseball, when you throw a fastball, it doesn't sink as much as it gets into the hitting zone. It kind of holds its path, which makes it look like it's rising.
D-backs put the shift on for Jock Peterson. He walked his last time up. He's been hit by a pitch and grounded into a double play. Trying to work away with fastballs. He's fallen behind 2-0.
Watch this swing. I have very little doubt that Jock Peterson is not going to swing at this ball. He's going to swing as hard as he can.
Going to try and back leg one right here.
Yep.
All right. Well, they were thinking the same thing, so they threw a changeup in there, and they got the call 2-1.
Another changeup.
And now with a count 3-1, Marrero will move over from third base to second base, and Ahmed slides back over into a shortstop spot. Another changeup got the call from Greg Gibson, and it's full 3-2. He missed away. Fifth walk issued by D-backs pitchers tonight. And Grandal gets a chance to bat from the left-hand side. He's hit into a double play, walked and scored and struck out. He's 0 for 2. There was the big backlegger. A fastball from Braccio at 94. Here's Robbie Hammock and Torey Lavello. Robbie, the quality control coach. Fastball away, missed, 1-1.
Well, there was a time you would have to be concerned about Jock Peterson and the possibility of stealing a base with 2 outs in the inning. He's a guy that stole 26 bags 2 years in a row in the minor leagues, followed that up with a 31 steal season, a 30 steal season, but he's only stolen 14 bases at the major league level.
He runs like a center fielder, always has. Spiked a changeup. He's an enigma, Jock Peterson. Yeah, some days you just go, what is that guy thinking? And then the other day, oh, that guy's got a lot of talent. Bob Guerin, Dave Roberts. It's been a roller coaster for Peterson the last few years. Bracho's spraying it around, fastballs and changeups. Bellinger hit a long home run back in the third off Matt Cook.
They're really playing with fire, putting these Dodger hitters in good hitters counts. Peterson had a 2-0 followed by a 3-1 count before drawing that base on balls. Now a 3-1 count on Grandal.
And now Bellinger will get a chance. Back-to-back 2-out walks by Silvino Bracho. Well, they're really up against it in terms of the bullpen. Mike Butcher's going to make a trip out there now. Like we said, you know, the big three, the back end guys, Yoshi and Archie and Boxberger, have all worked a lot lately. 3 of the last 4 days, in fact. And so they're just a little thin back there tonight. So they're going to need some guys to step up and get some big outs.
Yeah, none bigger than the one in front of Silvino Bracho right now. Cody Bellinger, dangerous hitter, hit a tape measure home run back in the third inning.
Roof is open. The outfield panels closed. Some swirling winds here at Chase Field today.
Well, I always loved that view when I had the rare opportunities to go to a big league ballpark as a youngster, and you walk out that tunnel and there's that green grass laid out in front of you. It's just a sight to behold.
The thrill of the grass, as W.P. Kinsella once wrote. Big out to get for Silvino Bracho. Bellinger 1 for 3. The home run is 4th of the year. Starts him off with a changeup. You can get Bellinger to expand the zone with pitches just a little bit off the plate, but you've got to be real careful about location. Just like that. Doubled up on a changeup, and it's 0-2. Got him. Silvino Bracho, 3 changeups. He strands 2 and keeps it a 1-run ball game. Worked a high wire there, but he got a big strikeout of Cody Bellinger to strand 2 and gets us to the home half of the 7th with a 3-2 ball game. We'll remind you fans, join us here at Chase Field Saturday. D-backs and Astros is a 5 o'clock game. And you'll be able to attend our free D-backs Cinco de Mayo fiesta, including live music, a salsa tasting, beer and margarita garden, and a whole lot more. Visit dbacks.com/Cinco. Bottom 7th here at Chase Field. A good ball game. D-backs trail at 3-2. New pitcher for LA, the left-hander, Adam Liberator. He'll face Devin Marrero to start off the inning. John Ryan Murphy, then Daniel Descalso. Adam Liberator, 5 scoreless innings in 6 relief appearances. He's given up only 1 hit. Base hit. Marrero gets it started in the 7th.
Liberator is a guy that the Diamondbacks haven't seen very much of. Goldie, or rather Daniel Descalso's had 5 at bats against him. Nobody else on the current roster has had more than 2 ABs against the Dodger left-hander.
John Ryan Murphy's first at bat tonight, double switched into the ball game, batting in the 9th spot. 226. He's homered twice. We've seen some power from John Ryan in this ballpark so far this year. A couple of home runs. That one almost got over the head of Bellinger.
Pretty sure that move to first base was just designed to see if John Ryan Murphy would tip off what he might do at the plate. We heard Torrey talking earlier about this. Feels like a game that's going to come down to playing for 1 run. No sign of a bunt on that first delivery.
Almost threw that fastball into the backstop. Tony Perez Chica coaching at 3rd. Marrero has a pair of stolen bases this year. He runs pretty well. Dave McKay coaching at 1st. What's a good number?
It depends on the runner, but that's a pretty healthy lead over there. It also depends on what you're trying to accomplish. There's something that base runners use call a one-way lead. That's where you take your maximum lead off and then take an extra step, almost forcing that pitcher to throw a pickoff move to first base. Obviously, in those situations, you'll get.
Murphy belts it into left. A pair of singles open up the D-backs 7th. And the top of the order's coming up. So the M&M boys, Marrero and Murphy, started off, and here's Descalso, who singled his last time up. D-backs now with 8 hits. They've left 5. We've got some big right-hand bats coming up. Ahmed, Goldie, Pollock, Owings. JT Chargois, the right-hander, warming up with the Dodger bullpen. That's belted fair down the right field line. Marrero will score. They're waving Murphy. Descalso's got a 2-run triple.
We talk about Daniel Descalso all the time, hitting .229 on the season coming into play tonight, but how many big hits just like this has he come up with this year?
It's amazing.
It really is. No sign of a bunt. The Dodgers thought the Diamondbacks were going to try to move those 2 runners into scoring position, and instead Descalso rips a triple down a right field line.
Dave Roberts going to go get his right-hander. I tell you what, John Ryan Murphy can run pretty well too.
He can.
He was flying around third all the way from first. Second triple this year for Descalso makes it 4-3 D-backs. Beat LA. D-backs and Dodgers. Daniel Descalso's 2-run triple has made it 4-3 Arizona. A reminder, fan, customize your own ticket pack this year with a D-backs mini plan. You get to pick the games, the seats, the whole thing. Choose from the best games like Mother's Day versus the Nationals next weekend, Camo Cap Giveaway Day May 28th, Father's Day, or even the 4th of July. Design your own D-backs mini ticket plan at dbacks.com/mini-plan. 4-3 D-backs in the 7th. Still nobody out. Descalso's down there at third, and the new pitcher is the right-hander JT Chargois, and he'll face Nick Ahmed. Ahmed has a home run this year against Chargois. D-backs have out hit LA 9-4. They lead at 4-3. This was their meeting last month at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, Nick ran Matt Kemp right into the wall out there in left field. Just did sneak it over that out-of-town scoreboard.
Ahmed homered here last night off of Ross Stripling, his 5th of the year. He singled his last time up, 1 for 3. Good sliders from Chargois. 0-2. Archie Bradley He's worked a lot lately, starting to get it cranked up. Another slider Nick lays off. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, it's amazing what adrenaline will do. Team comes back and takes a lead in the game against your dreaded rival, and all of a sudden that right arm feels pretty good. I'm okay, Skip. I can give you an inning or 2.
Oh, guaranteed. Racho in line for the win now. They can hang on. How big was that strikeout of Bellinger now? No, he didn't go, says Vic Carapazza. 2-2. Boy, we talked about Descalso, and he just so critical. He's played all over the field. Great at bats, big hits, a starter, a bat off the bench, you name it, he's done it all. And now in his last 11 games, including tonight, he's got 9 RBIs. Two and 2 on Nick Ahmed. Boy, missed badly with a slider that time, and it's full. Goldie on deck. Popped up behind shortstop. Verdugo coming in. Descalso at third is going to have to stay put. Boy, Verdugo really likes to show off that arm. He's got a cannon. Paul Goldschmidt now. Goldie 0 for 3. Really want to get that run home from third.
Dodgers will bring their infield in all the way around this time. Let's get something up in the zone. You know you can lift in the air to the outfield.
Well, you mentioned how well the timing is locked in right now for A.J. Pollock. I think Goldie's on the other side of that equation.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just seems to be tardy on everything. Granted, that last pitch was 96 off the plate inside, but he swung right through some 88, 90, 91 mile-an-hour fastballs right down the middle of the plate. Just off slightly.
Two outs.
You know, as frustrating it is to watch right now, you know it's just a matter of one swing and he will be back terrorizing National League pitchers.
Well, A.J. Pollock has terrorized L.A. in this series. He gets the free pass and it'll work to Chris Owens. So first and third, 2 down. CO singled in the fourth. He's 1 for 3 tonight. This is a no-brainer if you look at the numbers. CO's been scuffling a bit lately, and we know what AJ has done. Boy, Chagua really likes that slider. Pollock takes off uncontested, and now a single can score 2. Utley wants a mound visit here. Time is called. 2 big insurance runs out there with 2 outs. Yes, he wins, says Greg Gibson. It's 1-2. Peterson in center is out near the pool in right center field, and Verdugo is well off the line in left. Another slider, and Chagua comes in and takes care of business. But the D-backs take the lead. It's 4-3. We're going to stay right here. Remember, D-back skipper Tor Lavello wearing a Fox Sports Arizona microphone tonight, and here's the skipper mic'd up.
You're getting somebody's spaghetti up there. Butch. Yeah. Man, this keeps changing by the second. As many moves as that have been running through my mind and things we've talked about and gone over, it feels like it's the 9th inning right now.
I bet he gets that feeling a lot.
Yeah, sometimes you have to adjust your thinking in a ball game. We talked about it very early on. 2 pitchers that appeared to be on top of their game early. Torrey said this feels like a game you're going to have to play for 1 run, and as the game progresses, your attitude changes, the personnel that you put in the ball game changes, and now it's Archie Bradley out there on the mound.
And so they'll go to the back end big boys one more time. These guys have worked a lot lately. We saw Archie in the game last night. He threw 15 pitches. So they bring out the beer to start the 8th. Kemp, Utley, and Verdugo are due up for LA 5, 6, and 7. It's a double switch here as Gerard Dyson takes over in left field.
Yeah, sometimes on a double switch you have to go back farther than the last out of the inning. Ideally, it's the last out of the inning. You bring in a pitcher, you bring in a defensive player, and you flip-flop their spots in the lineup. But this time he went all the way back to the leadoff spot to Daniel Descalso to get his best defense on the field with a 1-run lead.
So the pitcher spot is now the leadoff spot. We can plug Dyson into the 7 hole. Kemp will lead it off for LA. He's 0 for 3. These two had a long battle after Archie came into the ball game last night in the 8th inning to face Kemp. He ended up with an RBI single. But Archie jumps ahead 0-2. Got an early knuckle curveball on the count there.
Yeah, that was one of the better bats we've seen from Matt Kemp in a long time. He was right on some mid-90s fastballs. He fouled off a tough curveball from Archie Bradley. Ended up getting a base hit.
He got Kike Hernandez to pop up to win that inning. And he strikes out Kemp.
No long at bat tonight. See you later.
Well, Utley can have a knack for grinding out long at bats. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. D-backs will put the shift on. Marrero on the grass midway between second and third. This is the way they played Utley most of the night. Oh, first pitch knuckle curve. Archie mixing it up here. No red glove tonight. He wasn't feeling it.
Wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Another knuckle curveball. Sometimes you're feeling like a red glove and sometimes you're not. In the air, right center. AJ's underneath it. 2 outs on 6 pitches. And here comes Verdugo. Kenley Jansen warming up in the Dodger pen. Marte, Dyson, Marrero due up in the bottom of the 8th. Verdugo doubled in the second against Matt Cook. He's 1 for 3. Boy, I can't remember the last time I've seen Archie throw this many curveballs. There's another one. Cingrani, the left-hander, will join Jansen, the righty. Here's a fastball. 1-2. D-backs 20-8, the best record in the National League, matching the best start in club history. They have never opened a season 21-8. Down the line and foul. Dyson gave it a run.
Yeah, Gerard got to the spot. Unfortunately, I think the ball hit the railing or the side wall there and ricocheted away from him.
D-backs have already put 8 games between themselves and the Dodgers in the division standings. And Torres going for another one right here with Bradley. Verdugo putting up a fight. Boy, the Dodgers 1-6 versus the D-backs this year. 0-4 at Chase Field. Ross Stripling was saying after the game last night, I think we're just ready to play someone else. These two teams have seen a lot of each other in April and now May. Two and 2 on Alex Verdugo. That was a rare slider.
Yeah. He kept shaking and shaking and shaking, and finally Verdugo stepped out of the box. And when John Ryan Murphy hung down the 3, Archie shook his head. Yeah, he wanted to throw that slider.
He's really making an effort to mix it up tonight. Nice catch in the stands there. 3-2. Max Muncy on deck. 10th pitch of the at-bat. Bradley and Verdugo. Dyson in left. Gila River game summary. Cody Bellinger had the big hit for the Dodgers. Made it 2-1 in the third. That was the Dodgers' last base hit. They got a run in the fourth on an error and a ground ball. So LA's not had a base hit since the Bellinger homer in the third. D-backs have come back. Descalso's 2-run triple in the seventh, the biggest hit so far. And Kenley Jansen, the Dodger closer, is on to work the bottom of the eighth inning with the D-backs leading 4-3. He has not had a good year. An ERA over 5.5 in 10 appearances. Ketel Marte, Gerard Dyson, and Devin Marrero do up 6, 7, and 8. Marte turns around and bats from the left-hand side. Bullpen starts to get busy for the D-backs, and Brad Boxberger, who's worked a lot lately, got save number 9 last night, is getting ready. 8, 9, and 1 due up in the LA ninth. Well, they tried to get in there. Taylor at shortstop. Worked that cutter in on the hands of the lefty. One away.
You know, we've talked a lot about the Dodger injuries and the effect it's had on their team, but I think Kenley Jansen's struggles out of the chute this year probably had as big of an effect on the Dodgers as anything else that's happened.
Why so?
Well, he was just locked down last year. If Kenley Jansen came in the ballgame, it was over.
Absolutely.
Forget about it. And much like Clayton Kershaw, he's shown himself to be human this year. He's made some mistakes. He's been hit hard at times. He's had trouble throwing strikes. He's had trouble with his mechanics. Boy, and when your lockdown closer is suddenly out there scratching his head wondering what's going on, it kind of affects the whole team.
Well, here's a good stat right there. Think about his pitch, which is the cut fastball, which comes in on the lefties like we just saw. Lefties are hitting 400 against him this year.
I mean, it was to the point in the past where teams would send up right-handed pinch hitters to face him just because it's easier to handle that cutter working away than it is when that cutter's coming in on your hands as a left-handed hitter.
The velocity's been down on that cut fastball. It doesn't have the same movement, and the results certainly aren't nearly the same. Tried it away there and missed, and it's 2-0.
How about this? Kenley Jansen has not had a 1-2-3 inning this year, but Pablo Sandoval has.
That's my new favorite stat ever. That one almost clipped Jansen. Dyson belts it into center, a one-out single, and now his speed is on the bases. Good example there. Solid base hit by the lefty against Jansen. Now, how do you want to play this?
Well, if you're Devin Marrero, and Devin's been in this situation before, I would expect him to take a few pitches right here and give Dyson a chance to steal a base. That's where the unselfishness comes in. When you have a premier base stealer on at first base and you're the hitter at the plate, it's kind of your job to take one for the team. If you have to take 3 or 4 pitches to give Dyson an opportunity to steal, that's what you need to do.
Dyson has elite speed down there. He holds. Marrero shows bunt, pulls back, takes ball 1. Dave McKay coaching at first. Long look down to Tony Perez-Cheeker for the signs at third. D-backs have out hit the Dodgers 10-4. Each team has left 7. One thing's for sure, Dave McKay has seen plenty of Kenley Jansen.
Oh yeah.
So if he has anything, he's got it by now.
You know, and Torrey told us the other day that most of the time he defers to Dave McKay and the base runner down there at first. He has a don't run sign that he will put on from time to time, but if Dave McKay has something on an opposing pitcher, the runners most of the time have a green light. I mean, for a big guy, Jansen does get rid of the ball fairly quickly. He's around 1.45, 1.5. That last pitch was a little bit of a quick pitch. Came to a quick set and fired the ball home before Dyson could really get out there and get his maximum lead.
Missed badly with a cutter. Now it's 2-0. Marrero has singled twice and scored a run tonight. He's got John Ryan Murphy on deck. You do have the left-hand bat of Peralta on the bench if you want to utilize it against Jansen. Dyson holds. Cut fastballs in for a strike, and it's 2-1. Dyson takes off. Rondal's throw from the knees is not in time.
Great jump over there by Gerard Dyson. I mean, I said it before, Jansen is fairly quick to the plate for a big dude, and Dyson steals that bag easily.
Pitch was a ball, and it's 3-1 on Marrero. Dyson now in scoring position. Dyson breaks for third, and he's in there. Game-changing speed. That was the message from Mike Hazen in the front office when they gave Gerard Dyson a 2-year deal, and we're seeing it manifest itself right here.
Randall doesn't even risk a throw that time. That's how big a jump Dyson had off of second base.
Now they're on the corners with one out. Murphy is the hitter. Peralta coming out into the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot is behind Murphy. John Ryan singled and scored in his only at bat tonight. Bunts it foul.
The old first and third one out safety squeeze.
Your favorite. Love it when you score at the ball game. This helps you follow along so much. Everybody's got their own system. Boy, got a cutter right down the middle. 0-2. Marrero takes off. Murphy lifts it along the right field line, and it drops foul.
Well, John Ryan Murphy with a 2-strike count has to protect anything close to the plate. Boy, Devin Marrero had a ginormous jump down there at first base. He was easily going to steal second, but John Ryan Murphy couldn't afford to take a borderline pitch.
Peralta set to hit for the pitcher after he left last night's game after being hit on the hand. Torrey told us before today he would be available tonight. 0-2 on John Ryan Murphy. Marrero holds. Cutter up and in. Got him. Here's David Peralta.
And let the cutter up and away. It actually works back to the inside part of the plate, but Murphy swings right under it.
David getting a standing ovation. He will hit for the pitcher. This was last night. A frightening moment. Hit on that right hand. Tony Cingrani got him for the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. X-rays were negative. Boy, that was, you just held your breath and hoped for the best, and the news has been great.
And David tried to talk his way into the game last night, and you saw Torrey just kind of laugh it off. No, no, no. Get inside.
Taylor at shortstop. And Dyson stays at third. We head to the 9th inning. D-backs lead the Dodgers 4-3. D-backs and Dodgers. And here's Brad Boxberger, who got his 9th save of the season in the series opener here last night. Boxberger has worked a lot lately. He got saves Friday and Saturday in Washington, D.C. and again last night, so he's worked a bunch. It's time to box him up.
Yes, indeed.
Max Muncy, the third baseman, leads off the LA ninth. Pitcher spot behind him, and Kike Hernandez is in the on-deck circle. Then it's Chris Taylor, the leadoff man. They'll put the shift on for Muncy. Dodgers have not had a base hit since Cody Bellinger's home run in the third. Torrey's got to have a sense here. You've got a chance to put 9 games between you and LA in the division. on May the 1st. So he's pushing his big bullpen arms at the back end, maybe to the limit here. Dyson in left field. Trying to take advantage of a big opportunity. Kike Hernandez hitting for Jansen. 239 and 3 homers. He was 0 for 4 last night starting in center field. Hernandez this year as a pinch hitter is 2 for 5, including a double and a home run. Oh, and 1. Dodgers have lost 6 of their last 7. They lost a series at home to the Miami Marlins last week. They've dropped 4 of the first 5 on this road trip. 4 games under 500. And then on the other side, you've got the D-backs, 20 and 8, the best record in the National League. They've matched their best ever start. Popped up. Ahmed at shortstop. 2 down. Taylor is the last man standing. And everyone here at Chase Field on their feet. Taylor has singled twice. He's 2 for 4. '93 from Boxberger. Looking for his 4th save in 5 days. Just off the plate at 94. Three and 1. Peterson on deck. Ball 4. Tying runs aboard. Peterson has been hit by a pitch, rounded into a double play and walked twice. Taylor has good speed at first.
The Diamondbacks outfield playing about as deep as you can possibly play right here. The idea being to avoid the extra base hit.
0-1. I think CO is out there standing in Awatuki. Middle infielders back on the grass. Changeup just missed. Change up upstairs, but he got the call and he's a strike away. Out of play. Mark Grace, Jody Jackson standing by. D-backs live post-game show. Can they beat LA for the second night in a row? That caroms to the backstop, and now Taylor, who's the tying run, is at second.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened right there. John Ryan Murphy a little late reacting. You can see he sets up way on the outside corner, and Boxberger pulls it all the way across the plate off the inside corner.
I think it hit Greg Gibson.
Yeah, caught Greg Gibson in the right shin guard and goes shooting over into that on deck circle.
Now a base hit can tie the ball game. 2-2 on Jock Peterson. 2 outs, Taylor at second. Change up missed. The dangerous Yasmani Grandal on deck. Strike 3, bucks him up. The D-backs, for the first time in their history, get to 21-8. They improved to 7-1 versus the Dodgers this year, including 5-0 here at Chase Field. Brad Boxberger, 4 saves in 5 days.
Boy, once again, an outstanding job by the entire bullpen. Andrew Chafin, Silvino Bracho, who got his first major league win tonight, by the way. Archie Bradley and Brad Boxberger put up 4 innings of zeros tonight.
The best record in the National League just went to 21-8. And they have already put 9 games between themselves and the Dodgers in the NL West. Back with a whole lot more after this.